Ho, 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 it's Halloween. Ho, 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 it's Halloween. Hey, music friends. Happy Halloween to everybody. Happy Halloween to everybody. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Here we are, Dylan and I just flying lonesome today. We're kicking it here in Orange Room on such a day as today. We would like to say I accidentally went live a little earlier today because I was trying to download the audio files from my chat I just did with Joanna Connor for the podcast, and I accidentally went live. So people saw a little bit of my gut and probably me swearing, because I swear a lot when I'm dealing with technology. I say, oh, rats, and doggone it, rats. Doggone it. That's what I say. I've got the Orange Gristle Master today. You know why? Because it's kind of like a pumpkin. It's kind of like a pumpkin on Halloween. We already had trick or treat here. We had trick or treat on Saturday. Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. Get out of here, you punk! That's what I said. And usually we go all out and have all kinds of specters and stuff. We had holographic specters that one year. Remember that? It was horrifying. We had one kid just weeping in front of our house with fear and terror. I was like, excellent. Well done. That's my wife's doing. She's a very creative soul, and she outfits our home in terrifying Halloween emblematic activity. But this year, nope. Just a couple pumpkins, and of course, we have our obligatory two skeletons swinging together, waving. In our front porch. But we did have a good crew of people coming in. We gave away a lot of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Did you know that they've reduced the size of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Dylan?
Those bastards.
They are bastards. They have taken the most delicious treat of all time and reduced its quality of excellence by making it just a small little just a disc. It's just a disc. Yeah, it is. It's poopflation is what it is. What they've done, ladies and gentlemen, is they've used the collapse of Western civilization to justify the minimalization of the greatest candy treat of all time, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. What are you gonna do? When you have inflation, what do? You shrink the peanut butter cup. When you have inflation, what do? You shrink the peanut butter cup. Shrink the peanut butter cup. Don't do it. Shrink the peanut butter. Don't do it. You fiends. I said now don't do it. You fiends. I want my peanut butter cup back. Peanut butter, come back! I want my peanut butter, come back! I want my peanut butter cup back. Very heartfelt. Goobers and Raisinets. Rich Moran, digging way back. Goobers and Raisinets. Remember that song? Yeah. What are you gonna do? Is Dylan playing more ghost notes today? Perhaps he is.
There you go.
Perhaps he is. We're just having fun here is what we're doing. I was very thankful that the mighty Rhett Shull did a little program on me yesterday on his YouTube channel. Boy, he gets lots of visitors to that doggone thing. It was so nice to see so many people saying such nice things. I was like, holy cow. That was very, very nice. Very, very nice. I appreciate it, Rhett. And it was kind of funny because he showed this this footage of us playing at the Maui Sugar Mill out in Tarzana, California. What's funny about that, everyone thinks the Maui Sugar Mill is in Maui. It's like, how are all these blues guys and blues rock dudes playing in Hawaii at that bar? It's like, nope. It's in a strip mall in Tarzana, California. It's a fun place, but it is not in Maui. It is called the Maui Sugar Mill, however. And we were doing a little thing. And he took a little thing of me doing this Albert King lick. And a couple people, including our buddy Dylan Self, were like, "That's an Albert King lick?" He's like, "It's true. What he chose was an Albert King lick. But you know what? He enjoyed it, and I enjoyed playing it, and people enjoyed learning about it. It's this little... Yes. I'll even show it up close and personal. Yeah. Woo! A little bit of that Albert King activity. A little bit of that Albert King. It's good for your soul. Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I was playing a little Albert King song in that. Well, he did it, and Roy Buchanan did it as well. And yes, all kinds of juicy jams for the Albert Collins wore the. Yeah, Drowning on Dry Land. I told you about that, right? Someone did a review. I like Greg and all. You know, the first record of what he was talking about, the KMT. Maybe some bands only have one good record in them. First record was good. This one, I don't know. And then Greg sings. I don't know about that. Yep, I've sang on records since probably that guy had hair. But be that as it may, he talked specifically about how he's like, you know, my wife's an English teacher, and it really upsets us when people do not enunciate or pronunciate properly. And it sounds like he's saying drowning on dry land. And I thought, interesting. I don't recall saying drowning, but boy, wouldn't that be odd for a blues or rock and roll selection, or country music selection for that matter, to say a word incorrectly. That would just be, what kind of selection does not have the best of the King's English in it, Dylan? That's what I want to know. Get me Michael Jagger on the line. I wish to discuss with him the liberties he has taken time and again with the King's English, and say, you know what? There's a guy online that's got a problem, and I think we need to rectify it. Am I right or am I right? Anyway. Sorry about that, Dylan. I kept it a little longer there. You thought I was going to go into that other part. You thought I was going to go into that other part, but I did not. But I did not. I did hit my little, I did hit my friendly neighborhood MXR Phase 95 to get the... Right? I'm using the old Gristle King for the fill. Like the sound of rock music, ladies and gentlemen. Gary is saying, had a Bigsby and didn't care for it. He's thinking about a hardtail Gristle 90. I will say that I've had Bigsbys on guitars too that I did not care for. But the reason why I went on the Bigsby with the Gristle 90 is because Reverend does Bigsby's right. I had a Reeves Gabrel's Space Hawk, Reverend Space Hawk guitar, which is a cool guitar. It has a Bigsby on it, and Reeves has a special spring that he likes to use so you can do warbles. It's a lot makes the Bigsby a lot more user friendly, shall we say? And Reverend was able to acquire quantities of that spring. So all of their Bigsbys are quite amenable to the power of rock music, and also amenable to doing, the flutters and all that kind of fun stuff you want to do with a Mr. Wiggles. Plus, there's a certain tonal timbre that that big hunk of metal brings to the fore, and I've played Les Pauls and Tellys with the Bigsby on it. There's something that happens there. There's something that happens. I'm sure there will be. Sure, there will be there'll be YouTube videos of why Bigsbys do not add tone, that they make no difference at all. But hey, that's for them to figure out. I will say that adds a little something, something. The Spring Eternal, I like that, Jim C., what you've said. But have I ever used a modular effects pedal live? Well, I did. I had a Line 6 delay pedal that I used, and that's kind of... Well, that's not really modeling per se, is it? But I guess it is. But it sounded good. Can you dig it? Oh, it's so juicy and succulent is what it is. I like all of it. Dylan, what should we play? It's up to you. You did some stuff for IK Media. Yes, I did, Michael Burrell. I did use that stuff for those videos, and it worked out quite well, actually. There is a video footage of us. Remember that, Dylan, when we were in Italy with Brian Muir? We went over there to do that stuff in Moderna, in Italia. And I used a IK Media Amplitube thing, and I was able to put a little... it was an iPad, and it had like a pedals on it. It was a little pedal board. You could change pedals and sounds, and it sounded damn good. And we recorded that stuff, and you can hear that stuff online. It sounds pretty damn good, and it felt decent in the moment as well, which was amazing. Yes. Sassy Cat says, "Can you play something to help blow my sinuses out?" We're gonna play the Neti Pot Blues, I think. Neti pot, get that snot right out. I've had a cold again myself, ladies and gentlemen, and it has not been pleasant. Woke up with just a roaring sore throat. I checked myself for the 19 again, and I did not have it. I just had a good old-fashioned cold, and just not fun. Okay, just not fun. Oh. That one. 1, 2, 3. that was a tune from Radio Free Gristle, as a matter of fact. That tune was called the Mulligatawny Delta. Oh. That's a rockin' tune. Good, clean fun there. Dude, we got to work that one out. We got to get Turner to Burner on that one. Get Toby on that one as well. This computer saying that we are not on the internet. You know, oh, here we go. Now it's coming back. Sorry about that. My message computer is this old ThinkPad that the people from Fishman sent me, and that's what I used to see the messages. And lately it just decides that I'm not going to see your internet. I'm like, hey, my internet's great, computer. Why are you not seeing it? I need you to see it in order to communicate with the peeps. I can't remember the. I know that part. It's the other part. The. That's just good old-fashioned fun to play there, folks. That little bridge section's kind of fun. Savagery. That's the kind of rock music that is good for you and for your damn soul. Am I right or am I right?
That's right.
You know, Scooby-Doo said it so. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Oh, where are you? We've got some work to do now. We can count on you. I said, now Scooby-Doo. I know we'll catch that villain. You know we got a mystery to solve at Scooby-Doo. We're ready for your act. Don't hold back. At Scooby-Doo, if you come through, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby-Doo. That's a fact. Work to do now. And we can count on you, Scooby-Doo. I know we'll catch that villain. I know we'll catch that villain, damn it. I know. Can we get a little funky funk? Arthur, of course. We could do it all. We could play a little funky funk for the kids. Am I right, Dylan, or am I right?
That's right.
like that. I don't know what happened there, but it felt good. Down to my doggone corns. Down to my corns, that's what we did. Down to my corns. Need some Turner though. Yeah, he can't be here on Mondays though. That's a Friday thing. Sometimes he's here on Mondays. We could do a little bit of your face. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Drade, why didn't you use your Koch amp at the Funky Biscuit? Because they had house gear there. They had house PA, they had house drums, and they had house amps. So instead of us loading all of our crap in, I just used what they had there. Just because sometimes you're on the road and they're like, hey, we got backline. You're like, thank Christ. Because I'm going to leave that stuff in the vehicle and try to have a night where we're not lugging stuff like farm animals before and after the show. So that's that's what happened. That's what happened. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed those tones. I used a Vibrolux and a Deluxe, which I had used that combination many times. I think that's what I used, a Deluxe and a Vibrolux. I may have used a Vibrolux and a Hot Rod DeVille. I can't remember. Yes. Sounds like I need a roadie. Well, in Europe we have Klaus, but in the States we have Dylan, me, and Toby, so we do it ourselves. But you know what? These last tours have gone well, so as we build things up, perhaps at some point we'll be adding personnel to our squad. But first we need to build it up. But it's so nice when people come out and see the band. They go, online is one thing, but when I came out live, my brain was scalded. Although there is an interesting thing. I've seen this guy post this stuff before. He's a little mad about how loud we were out in California at a place called The Mint. And all I got to say is, we play loud. But it's not as loud as a lot of things that I've personally stood next to on many different occasions. So if you're coming out to see us and it's a smaller club, I suggest ear protection, just because, you may not have to use it, but it's always to be in. Dylan's getting a little savage back there. He's like, oh, tears for the loudsters. But now what are you gonna do? My favorite explanation of that was our friends Jeremy and Tiffany down at the Mojo's Boneyard in Evansville, Indiana. One of the best venues in the country. They treat you great. It's fantastic. And he said, yeah, you were playing last time you were here. This guy came up going, it's so loud. And he goes, then leave or wear earplugs. But this is what we're doing. He goes, I've mixed many times. This is not that loud. So what are you going to do? Music should be, when you go out to see a band, plan not to talk. Is my key, or between songs you could say, oh my gosh, that was this or that. But during the jams, I'm sorry, but you're there to partake in sweet musics. Sweet musics are what's on the menu. Heat it up and begin to sup. Heat it up and begin to sup. I think those are good words to live by. What do you think, friends? Hot rock is the best rock, Wild Alien. You are correct, Amundo. Where are you, Scooby Greg? Huh? Rono. Every now and again, I'll come across someone from high school and they'll say, hey, Scoob, because that was one of my nicknames in high school because I did such a good Scooby-Doo. And I go, I've kind of evolved past the whole Scoob thing, but, okay, all right. I'll run across people from high school and they'll have, do you still play guitar? Nope. No, I do not. You know what I still do? I Scooby-Doo. That's all I'm ever going to be. As I'm going to be a guy who occasionally goes down the hall talking like Scooby-Doo. That's me. Thanks, friend. See you in another 20 years. All right. Oh, I like that. I got this little Timmy pedal that I'm kind of having fun with. That's this little rascal right here. This little piece. So a lot of times I got the amp just kind of clean right here. I got a little slapback coming from this little bad boy, which is the delay llama from our friends at Jam. Ensconced in beautiful Greece. Ensconced in beautiful Greece. Now, see, it did it again. It just logged me out of Restream so that I can't see the questions and comments. Thanks a lot, computer. Anyway, so if I put a little clean boost on from Mr. Gristletime. Get this for a little extra. Just a nice little bit of gristle. Both of them on it, it's all juicy. 35 years, Patty D. Okay, I just was throwing out years. Patty D, I was throwing out years. That's what I was doing. You get the idea. The little mini Timmy's a good little pedal, isn't it? I like it. Can we play Absinthe as a duo? That's possible. I haven't played that one in a while. Let's see what we got about it. There we go. All right, brain. 1, 2, 3. That's a little tune of mine called Absinthe, ladies and gentlemen. Originally appeared on the Defenestrator record, which came out originally in 1998. But it was also included on my compilation record that came out on Steve Vai's Favored Nations label in 2001. And there you have it. That's already 20-some years ago, right? 21 years ago. Crazy. And by that point, I'd already had, I had records going back to 1993, something like that. Can you dig it? Oh, can you dig it? Yeah, those little changes on there are kind of interesting. It's like C minor 7 to a G7 with a raised fifth to a C minor. I might do that Jimmy thing. I might substitute the flat 5 for, well, I'll keep the sharp 5 in there, but add in the flat 9. There I go. Back to C. Then I do this little, it's a C sharp 9 with a G sharp in the bass. D sharp major over G, and then do a B diminished. And then when I go into the chorus, I do F minor, B flat 7 sus to B flat 7, to B diminished, C. B flat sus, D diminished, back to C, and then a G7 sharp 9. Mysterious. Mysterious. Yeah, the B flat sus thing, it is Beatlesy, isn't he? I'm not afraid to Beatle out. I'm a fan of the Beatles, although I'm more of a Harry Beatles fan. I grew up listening to the older records because that's what I had available to me. White Album, Let It Be, Abbey Road, and repeat. White Album, Abbey Road, Let It Be, and repeat. I did enjoy those. But David asks, Greg, how many gigs per week are you doing now? Well, this is an interesting question, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I will run into people locally and they're like, oh, are you, like I'll see them on a Sunday morning. Well, you're up early for a gigging musician. And I'm like, do they think I'm playing in town all the time? Because if they think I'm playing in town, they're not coming out to see me. So do they think I'm like playing like lounge gigs or something? Not that there's anything wrong with all of that. But I don't play in town other than like 3 or 4 times a year. Because if you play all the time, you can't charge amount of money. People just take you for granted. And they're like, oh, that guy? Even though I did that so much when I was younger, it's still kind of like, oh, that guy. So I have to be very careful and not play that much in town so that I can charge accordingly and get people to come out that want to see, as opposed to just doing a gig someplace where they, oh, look, there's a band here. I wonder if they know the hits of today. And that would be no. No, I don't know the hits of today. I know my hits and misses of yesterday. And that's all there is to it. So I don't gig much in town. So when we're on the road, we're on the road. But in town, we do these 2 live streams. We do Monday, we do Friday, and we'll do every other weekend. We do a Saturday thing on Together, and then we go back on the road again and do our thing. So we don't actually do another gig out in public until November 17. We are playing at Martyrs in Chicago. My buddy Willie Porter is our featured guest. He's going to come down and do a set. Then we're going to play, and then he's going to come up and play with us. Martyrs in Chicago, November 17th. November 18th, we are at Shank Hall in Milwaukee with the Koch Marshall Trio. And we are going to rock brains. Then that Saturday night, we are going to do a live stream on Together.co. Together.co, we're going to let the gristle flow. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? And that's all there is to it. That's how we roll. Are you ever going to play Valley Fair in Minnesota? No, those days are long gone. Gary asks, gather the tip jar is still available for the live streams. Well, it's kind of weird because these are our Fishman live streams, and for those we don't really put the tip jar out. Although if you wanna tip, you certainly can. We do the tip jars usually when we just do the band live streams, although we don't do those as much anymore. And then when we do Together, that's kind of a subscription thing, so that's kind of already handled in the subscription fees. So, yeah, we've been on the road a ton this summer. We've done a bunch of stuff through the fall, and it's been great. We've been having a good old time. And there you go. Sad to see when 2 cool acts share in the bill, but they don't jam together. But yeah, but we will be jamming together with William Porter. That's going to be fantastic. When are we in Pennsylvania? We are hoping to get out there first part of 2023. We shall keep you apprised on the usual portals of knowledge via the social media and whatnottery. Watched your funky biscuit jam with Schofield this morning. Excellent playing when you come to St. Louis area. Well, thank you, Michael Black. That was a lot of fun. It's always fun jamming with Matt Schofield. He's a tremendous player and a cool cat, and he's always welcome with Team Gristle. When are we coming to St. Louis? Well, I'm part of that Allman Family Revival thing that's going to be in St. Louis on December 10th. So I'll be there then, although that will not be with the trio. I'll be playing with the ensemble, which as I decipher is kind of a revolving door. There'll be the core band up there with Devin and Dwayne Betts and so on and so forth, and then different guests will come and go, and I'll be one of the guests coming and going. That sounds weird, but I'll be there playing, and then I'll disappear, and then I would imagine there'll be some kind of tumultuous jam at the end. KMTTs yet? Yes, we do have more T-shirts available. So if you go to my website, there are indeed T-shirts available. Where are the Reverend guitars made? They're made at Mir Music in Seoul, South Korea, or outside of Seoul, South Korea. And Ken was just there, and he was amazed. He goes, you know what's funny is, he goes, he was prepared to see a whole bunch of CNC machines and everything being done kind of in a very modern way. He said, you would be surprised the amount of actually hands out there. He saw one guy doing all the necks that particular day and shaping all the necks by hand. He goes, so it's more like a 50s era American shop than you would imagine. So there's that. So I dig them. I dig them. I dig them. When are you coming to Massachusetts? Laura, we're hoping that we'll be out there as part of this East Coast trip first part of next year. So we'll keep everyone apprised. Hello from Australia. Well, greetings to you, Mark. It's been such a long time since I've been there. I used to come there every year and cause trouble. But it's been a while. It's been, I want to say it's been 6-7 years since I've been over there. If I'm not, maybe not that long. Maybe 5 years. Maybe 4 years. Something like that. Yeah, can you dig it? Will you dig it? You know, we might need to do a shuffle, Dylan. I think it's always at least one shuffle time in our world, and the perpetual shuffle of the world. Hope you come to Michigan. We're hoping to get back there. Last time we were there, we played at the was it the Token Lounge? No, Token Lounge was the time before that. We played at that theater, the Magic Bag. We played at the Magic Bag in Ferndale, which was a cool joint. We'd like to return there. We didn't have the hugest turnout, but I think part of that was because it was right during the car show thing they have running 3 days. That's right in front of the place. There's literally no place to park. We still made money, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah, shuffle time. Let's do a little shuffle. course, these are my Fishman Fluence Gristletone pickups on here. My signature pickups with Fishman. They are sponsoring, of course, this live stream. This comes in. You can already get them installed in my Reverend Gristlemaster guitar. This special orange is, it's orange season, Clockwork Orange. You can only get them at Wildwood Guitars in beautiful Louisville, Colorado. You can get the other guitars wherever Reverend is sold, and you can certainly get the pickups wherever Fishman is sold, which is damn near everywhere, doggone it. And Eric Gale says, Greg, how the hell are you? Eric, I'm doing well. And yourself? I hope you're doing well there in North Carolina, where it all happens. North Carolina, where it all happens, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, it's getting near the witching hour, where I'm going to go for a spirited perambulation with my lovely wife, and then it's Mekong Monday. We're going to have our dinner from Mekong Cafe, where we're going to have a delicious Vietnamese feast.
How to get my lotto tickets.
Oh, and Dylan needs to get his lotto tickets. I already bought our lotto tickets at the grocery store yesterday, Dylan. You know what I decided I was going to do? Here's a fun idea. If I win $1 billion, folks, they'll cut it in half right off the bat. I only get $500. Okay, I think I can still make that work. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up venues all across this great nation of ours. I'm going to start here, and then if it works out well, I'm going to bring my idea overseas as well. But I will open up venues, okay? And in the venues, there's going to be house gear that's going to kick ass. First of all, it's going to sound great, all right? There's going to be Backline of Doom. There's going to be a room upstairs, an apartment for the bands to stay in. There's going to be a restaurant, and that food is going to kick ass. And there'll be a coffee machine of unparalleled savagery with someone who knows how to use the damn thing. And then there's going to be venues like that in every major city across this great land of ours, and maybe some smaller cities as well. Gristletoriums, if you will. Call it what you will. But they will be venues for bands can show up. No need for road cases. No need for hauling all your crap. All you'll need to bring is your drumsticks, maybe your guitars. There'll be guitars there as well. Just your merch to sell. Can you dig it? And then you can go from town to town without worrying about severe. You can do an entire Gristle tour where you're playing at just those venues and not have to haul all your crap other than your merch and your own damn self and your dirty skivvies. Doesn't that sound great? And then if it works, I'm bringing it overseas. This is all if I win the lottery, folks. Don't get too excited. The probabilities of me winning the lottery are pretty low. However, I want to plant the seed out there, whoever might be listening, in the unlikely event that you make all that dough, that it's a good idea. Imagine it. Have a venue that's going to sound great in there. The PA will be glorious. And it'll be purposely for bands that are playing music that is not seeking the lowest common denominator, okay? People who are creating music they feel like creating, and trying to reach a larger audience without having to do unspeakable deeds in order to reach a larger audience. Am I right or am I right, Dylan? Diggity doggone it. All right, there you have it. I kind of went on a tirade there for a little bit. Rambo Weed said, dude, you won the lottery by working so hard to be brilliant on the good fit. Well, thank you so much. That's very kind. I do feel like I've won the lottery many times with my good fortunes. There's no doubt about it. Any genre of music, Arthur. Exactly. You know what was the greatest thing about radio back in the day is, like, you know, the XRT in Chicago and so on and so forth. You might hear John Scofield 1 minute, Led Zeppelin the next, the Ramones the next. That's when radio was great. You might hear anything now. It's like, oh, Lord. Not that I'm judging, but I totally am. I totally am judging. Anyways. All right, folks. Have a pleasant remainder of your evening on Hallows Eve. Be safe out there. And, yeah, don't eat all the candy, okay? We were good. We gave away as much as we possibly could. Dylan put a few little morsels in the freezer so we could have a few frozen delights of the leftover Reese's peanut butter cups. They're gone? You already took them? You already took them down. All right, good, because I don't need that temptation. I'm trying to keep my Milwaukee goiter at bay. I can't be chowing down on sweet Reese's. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and the Snickers bar. Who's with me out there? Those are the two devastating ones. Those two are always a go-to. Although Hershey's with almond, that's a strong choice. Or Mr. Good Bar, you got that delicious chocolate with the peanuts. Am I right or am I right? Here's the problem with the Butterfinger. That shit gets in your teeth. Am I right? You're picking that stuff out. You're like, you know what? I can't take it. I cannot take it. So give me the Snickers. Give me the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Who's with me? All right. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited. I'm getting a little hungry too, as you can tell. All right, it's mealtime. We'll see you cats later.